What up, YouTube? I'm back. So it's been a while since I've done a One Piece review. It's been like 3 or 4 episodes ago, but I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad that I'm gonna get to talk about the things that have been going on in the One Piece anime. But first of all, I just want to say congrats to Oda for doing officially 1,000 chapters of One Piece. That's a huge milestone. One Piece has been going on for 20 plus years, and it's huge, man. So huge congrats to Oda for this One Piece masterpiece. Even though it's not finished yet, it's something big, man. It's really, really big. There's two things that I want to accomplish in this week's review. The first thing is to talk about some of the things that happened in the last 4 episodes, and then talk about what happened in the 957th episode of One Piece anime, because there's a lot of shit that happened that we need to talk about. So in episode 954, we got to see Kawamatsu's backstory after he lost Princess Iori. We saw how he became a friend with a fox named Onimaru, and they were robbing tombs for future plans, because there was a lot of sword there, and in the future they would need a lot of sword to basically defeat Kaido and Orochi, so that was basically the episode. We saw his backstory of what happened, and at some point he wanted to kill himself, so then he found a purpose and he accomplished that before he got captured. The fox Onimaru actually was maybe a human, that could transform into a fox. I'm not really sure. So maybe he had a devil fruit power, and that was a Zoan type devil fruit power, So all of that was quite interesting in my opinion. We were also introduced to two legendary swords that was once Oden's and then was passed down to Momonosuke and Princess Iori, and the reason why it was introduced to us is because Zoro was still trying to get back his Shusui sword, but because the Shusui is a treasure to the land of Wano, Princess Iori basically decided to trade it for her sword that is Enma the Flame Blade, that was Oden's sword before. So it's a legendary sword, man. Something that nobody has ever wielded except for Oden, so it's special. The reason why Oden was the only one capable of wielding the Enma Flame Blade is because it actually sucks the owner's Rio. That's why Zoro wasn't really able to control it at first, and that's why he needs to train with it, because it's a really hard sword to manage, So I really like that we saw how powerful that sword can be, because Zoro only slashed once, I think, and it destroyed a cliff, so that was really, really impressive. The other sword that Oden had that was passed down to Momonosuke was called the Ame no Abakiri, and the only thing that we know about it, I think, is that it can cut the heavens, and that the two swords are one of the 21 excellent great sword, so that was quite interesting. And we also know that Hitetsu was basically keeping them for Lady Iori and Momonosuke for the time that they will be ready to basically wield it, I'm guessing. Another thing that we learned is that Apu, one of the Wish Generation, we all know that he made an alliance with Hawkins and Kid, but he was already a part of, the Kaido Pirates, which was pretty crazy, and that's the reason why Hawkins decided to join the Kaido Pirates, because he would have probably died, and that's the reason why Kid and his crew and Killer was captured, because they decided to not join Kaido. So all of that was really interesting to learn. It also seems like Apu had some giant monsters on his crew, so that just shows how scary Kaido's crew overall is. And speaking of alliance, Kaido and Big Mom formed an alliance. That's crazy because they're both Yonkos, so it's crazy to see two of the most powerful pirates made an alliance together, so that was one of the craziest things that we've seen in the One Piece series, in my opinion. There was also the Akazaya 9. We've only seen seven so far, and seven of them are together, so that's great. There's only two remaining that we haven't seen. And also, Luffy mastered Rio. It seems like he mastered it. So that's all of the things that I wanted to talk about from the last 3 to 4 episodes. Now I'm going to talk about this week's episode because there's a lot more things kind of that happened. Anyway, now episode 957 was something special because it's one of the first time in a while that we got some information about what's going on outside of the land of Wano, and I think they're doing that on purpose because we know how the land of Wano is so isolated from the rest of the world, so the characters and the show doesn't really know what's going on outside of it, and I think they're doing that on purpose to us. So I think that's pretty smart. But one of the things that we learned is that the reverie is actually over, and the reason it's over is because they came to some decisions about what's going to happen in the world which was really 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 cool to learn. We got to see what's going on in Fishman Island with King Neptune and Shiraoshi, and obviously Garp, Luffy's grandfather, was their bodyguard, so he basically told them what was going on. And during the episode, they were actually circling around what was going on, and it was kind of maddening because I really wanted to know what's going on. But one of the things that the war government did is they wanted to censor what information the public was going to get, so they actually sent one of the cipher pole agent to a newspaper place where they were going to give the information to the public trying to censor it. But obviously the chief was able to defeat the cipher pole agent. He wasn't really strong, but I thought that was pretty interesting that the government was trying to cover what was going on. So there's multiple things that supposedly happened. One of the things is that it seems like there was an incident in the kingdom of Alabasta. We don't know what this incident was. And it also seems like something happened to Sabo. Maybe he was killed. Maybe he was taken prisoner by the world government. We really don't know right now. And just seeing the face of Dragon and the members of the Revolutionary Army was pretty it was a sight to see because they were really, really worried. So I'm wondering what happened to Sabo, and we still don't know what happened to him. I'm guessing that we'll maybe learn it in next week's episode or the episode after that, before Act 3 of Wano. But I really want to know what's going on, man, because they still didn't tell us what was going on with Sabo. Another thing that we learned is that Drake and Kobe actually work together. Drake is actually a Navy HQ top secret special force, and I'm guessing that he's investigating what's happening in Wano with Kaido and everyone. So I thought that was really, really cool to learn. And one of the things that he said is that he saw an agent of the Cipher Pole in Wano. So it seems like the Cipher Pole have business with someone in Wano. So I thought all of that was really, really cool to learn. There's a lot of information that we got, but the most important thing that we learned in this week's episode was the abolition of the seven Warlords of the Sea system. And we all know that it was something that was talked about before. It was first brought up by Admiral Fujitora. Obviously, he wanted that because there's a lot of corruption with that. We saw what the Flamingo did in Dressrosa. We saw what Crocodile did in Alabasta. So they basically took their power and did something wrong in some kingdoms in the world. So that's one of the reasons why he wanted the abolition of the seven Warlords of the Sea system. And obviously that's the big thing that happened in this week's episode. We saw how some people was happy that that happened. There was some people that didn't really think it was a good idea because of the balance of power. We all know what the balance of power is in One Piece. The three powers are the four emperors, the navy, and the warlords. And one of these powers were basically eradicated by what the what happened, in the reverie, because the reason why this law was able to pass is because of King Nefertari Cobra of Alabasta and King Riku Dodo III of Dressrosa. And the reason why they wanted to do that is because of what happened in their kingdom, and because of that, the other kings and queens, agreed to that law, and now, all of the warlord of the sea are wanted. They don't have any power anymore. I'm really wondering right now if the incident that happened in Alabasta, and we really don't know what happened there. We don't have any information about what happened, but I'm really wondering if, the reason why that incident happened is because of the decision that King Nefertari had with, the warlord system. Maybe that's the reason why there was an incident. But one of the things that I really like also in the episode is the montage that there was with, the Navy, the Warlords, the Yonkos, all the montages that they did at the end of the episode. I thought was all great, just showing us who the Warlord of the Sea was, the multiple Warlord of the Sea that there was, and everything, and the Yonkos and the Navy, the Admirals. I really like what they did, just refreshing our mind about what's happening in the world, and who is who. So I really thought that it was a great episode. I can't wait to see what's coming next, because from what the preview showed, there's something big that is happening in next week's episode. So I can't wait. But great episode. I can't wait for Wano Act 3, because Act 2 is finished right now. But there's a lot that happened in the last like 5 episodes that I wasn't able to talk about. So I'm glad that I took the time to talk about it. Let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. Let me know what you think is gonna happen next. I do One Piece reviews on Saturday, so subscribe for that. But I also do other anime related things like Boruto Naruto Next Generation reviews on Sunday morning, and then I do Attack on Titan the final season reviews on Sundays too. I also do Black Clover reviews on Tuesdays, and then I think it's on Wednesdays or Thursdays I do The Promised Neverland, and then after that on Fridays I do Jujutsu Kaisen reviews. So stay tuned for all of that, because it's gonna be fun. There's also Dr. Stone coming back this week, so stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. It would help my channel a lot. And follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, man. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Anime Specialist out. Peace.